It's been over a year this car has sat since it spun a bearing. But little do you know how much work has been done since in terms of getting it running again. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, so we just went ahead and threw the built heads on a stock DE short block. Bueno.
Well, hello. I know what's going to be posted in the comment section. 1, wow, he's alive. 2, he looks a little bit like Jeffrey Dahmer with those glasses. Thanks, guys. I didn't really think I was going to ever make another video. After last September's, post of events, I kind of lost that interest to post anything or make any videos. So I'm kind of astonished I'm even doing this. I think the last time I held a camera in front of my face like this was, I think it was early September of 2021. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit rusty. Now, as I'm pondering on this trail here on this October's afternoon, figured it'd be a prime time as I step away from my day-to-day, just to record a little bit of footage, to tell you guys where I've been, what's been going on, etc., etc. Those are some massive droppings. My viewers and those who are new to my channel will easily find out that I'm an automotive enthusiast. I love working on cars and motorcycles. I love modifying them, learning about them, talking about them. Did you just see that? I got a freaking ladybug just landing on my glasses. Hello, friend. How you doing? And it's gone. Back to the program. And as I've grown fonder of this hobby of being an automotive enthusiast or a motorcycle enthusiast, whatever you want to call it, I also picked up interest on photography and making videos and stuff for fun, as I always have been into that sort of thing as a kid growing up. So it was kind of nice to pick up on that hobby again and kind of explore my skills and develop them and become a lot more enthusiastic about it. So here I am. I don't know how many years later, I got the camera in front of my face and I'm here on YouTube telling my story to the world, which, to be frank, my story kind of crashed in September of 2021. Or has it? That's kind of like the question I'm pondering with right now. I'm not exactly sure how to put a finger on it, but I had some issues. So long story short, on this channel, I had featured a really awesome and exciting build, which was my Infiniti G35, which was fully built, and I had a forced induction kit on it on a pretty relatively awesome budget. And I was trying to showcase this idea that you don't have to have all the money in the world to have something that can make you really happy. And you don't have to have all the tools and the answers. As long as you have good company, you can get them, etc., etc. Really, I was just trying to make this picture come to life. And I really want to tell the world that I had accomplished my goals as a kid growing up, that you can too also have your own dream car, your own dream build. And in all honesty, it costed me a lot. I don't know if I want to say it was worth it, because I still got an experience out of it, so that is kind of difficult to answer at this given time. But I do definitely think that I really had the shit end of the stick, as I like to say. I'm laughing about it now, which is exactly why I had the heart to kind of pick up the camera and record this video for you all, to kind of see where my head's at with it all. I'm sitting here in silence because that was really tough to swallow, which was just the reality that I had to face. I spun a bearing, I had some crazy engine malfunctions, and that entire project just plummeted right to the ground, below zero, which means it's 6 feet under. It was dead. And I don't want to sound too materialistic here, because I am very grateful for the things I have in my life. But losing that, or watching it kind of crash to the ground, that was a pretty low moment in my life as well. I mean, I've gone through a lot of other lows in my life, don't get me wrong. But this was another one to add to the list. Might I add, I'm walking through this really cool spot here between these farmlands. Look at all the corn. Oh, there's one right there. I want to grab it and eat it. What the? And so my big picture was to use this materialistic thing like the G35 and the essence of a project car. I was trying to use it to kind of gather up people and kind of build a community around it, and in hopes of being able to grow my content and kind of get noticed with the story, because it was in memory of two of my good pals who passed. And a lot of you who are probably watching this are probably like, you're still not over that? Like, no, I'm not. It was a big loss. So yeah, I digress. Apologies. But since I lost that opportunity and I kind of dug myself a hole of, endlessness and debt and financial instability, I kind of lost my desire and, passion in a sense. I want to revive it one day, but I don't think it's time just yet. Look at those gorgeous fall colors. And I guess as I'm recording this video, I want to maybe make some positivity out of it, or shed some light on the idea that even though things don't go as planned or your way, you just gotta yell plot twist. It's been one of the pieces of advice I've kind of thrived on. But it's been hard to stay positive. It's been very difficult to stay positive. And there was a lot of things that kind of came up throughout my life that kind of put me in a corner. So reviving this engine and this car for my channel and for my viewers and for people who would, wander into my channel, per se. I couldn't find the funds to keep it going because it is very costly, and I don't have enough money to cough up to get it rebuilt. And we know life and time just goes on and doesn't really have any breaks, especially when there's challenges you're facing in your own life. And with that being a given, life had its own unexpected things that kind of came up alongside with the engine malfunctioning and costing me a bunch of money. Number one, the computer that I use to upload videos and edit photos and videos with for my channel and my media outlets like my Instagram and such went kaput. Great timing, because that was a very expensive computer, and it's probably like the most expensive part out of the entire computer to fix too, which is, great, fantastic, fuck my life sort of deal. And another thing was the pressure of leaving the nest, aka leaving mom and dad's. And I don't think there's any right age. I think everyone's life is so different. You can never compare your life with somebody else's life. However, I think there was a big pressure of me leaving my mom and dad's place, living there at least, as they were planning on making a big retirement move, and it all happened so fast, and I had to find somewhere to live. And if you don't know, or if you live under a rock, for most of North America, housing expenses have gone up tremendously, and it's been a very scary market to deal with. So house hunting was extremely difficult. Finding a place to rent was extremely difficult. Easy to find, but with budget, very difficult. So I'm still kind of easing into this whole transition, but the pressure was so significant that I left really far from home. I don't live anywhere close to mom and dad. I don't live anywhere close to where I used to live. I live really far. I moved completely. I left the province, and I almost feel guilty for not telling anybody who I used to hang out with all the time, or close relatives or family, friends, whatever, that I moved or made this huge transition. But life was so fast moving. And with this new norm of mine, you know, living on my own and trying to figure things out and all, it's like it all happened so fast that I almost regret putting myself into this mess or ordeal of financial instability, because now I can't ever get out of it. So if you feel the urge to get materialistic when you're just getting by, I urge you not to do it, because you start to lose sleep with things like debt drowning you mentally, and you're not ever really happy or comfortable. You're kind of always on edge, and it's not really, it's not fun to deal with. So I know I'm not in the worst position someone could ever be in life, because I do count my blessings day to day. I know I'm pretty well off compared to others. I have a roof over my head. I'm able to afford, you know, food and put food on the table, and I do have a mode of transportation to get me around reliably. But it's not to say that I'm still dealing with things. There's a lot of noises right now. I'm getting freaked the fuck out. But it's not to say that I'm not dealing with challenges in my life. And this is one of those pivotal moments in my life where it's like I had so much going for me, but right when you think you have it all, and right when you want to tell the world how awesome your life is and such, you have to be careful, because that could very well be the last taste that you get of things like luxury, things like comfort, things like, you know, being well off for your age. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you are just getting by and you want to splurge on spending a ton of money, just make sure you do it wisely. And you know, having goals and stuff is great, but be realistic with yourself and your goals. See, my goals were based on my income and my expenses from day to day. I was going to pay all this off by now, a year later, after building the car and everything. But because the engine popped, and because things kind of got thrown into my life and these challenges I have to face, I now am way behind on my goals. My goal is to pay off my debts. My goal is to get debt free. But I'm still paying off school. I'm still paying off my credit card. I'm still paying off my, you know, my bills. And quite honestly, there's no money left to pay off my bills on, you know, what this car has costed me. And that's I don't want that on anybody else. So let my lesson of life that I learned the hard way be a lesson or a warning for you in time ahead of your life. And I want to specifically reach out to people who are very heavily influenced from YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and whatever else you want to, you know, call these new social media platforms. Because I was heavily influenced from YouTube and watching all these really well-off individuals who were about my age, if not less, or, you know, just a little bit older, like young influencers really influencing me. Like, I had to have the fastest car. Why? Why do you have to have the fastest car? Why do you have to have the coolest car? Why do you have to have a fully built engine? Why do you have to have these materialistic-esque things with your ride? Why? Does it serve a purpose? Does it fulfill your needs? I mean, a car is a car. You can have a lot of fun with a car that's bone stock, and you can be just as enthusiastic as you want with it as a car that's fully built. So I really hope you guys are getting the picture as to what I'm saying here on this video. I want to let you guys know where I'm at in my life. Lots of things have changed. I'm okay. I really am. I'm just getting by. And I'll be doing better, I'm sure. But things have happened so much unexpectedly in the last year since I've last uploaded a video that I had the urge to let all of you know, because I feel like I had a good rhythm here. And I didn't want to lose that rhythm, and I did. And things came up and pushed me down further and further, to the point where I looked like Jeffrey Dahmer. All jokes aside though, I just wanted to put this video out there because I'm sure a lot of other young enthusiasts or people who are unaware of the things that could potentially happen with, you know, being materialistic or impatient with their builds and stuff, what could happen, what could come about it, right? So I'm still very grateful I had the experience, but the experience was very short-lived, and I wish I had a better chance to kind of have this experience for a longer run, but it fell short of my expectations in terms of timing. So having a fully built engine doesn't mean it's indestructible, guys. It really doesn't, because you just saw my 800 horsepower built G35 shit the bed 22.5 grand later. Yep, that's the number. Am I proud of it? Hell no. Was it worth it? Hell no. We only made 430 wheel horsepower. I know it sounds really bad, but a stock engine could have had that power. That could have saved me so much money and time and effort, and my friends' times and their efforts and energy. Like, it's too bad. But for what? Like, did I really need it? No. I learned that the hard way. And that's life, folks. Sometimes you come across these really shitty experiences, but it's all for a good reason, I would hope. So no one has an answer to things that happen in life, especially tough times. But it's good to make up excuses for your own mentality, because no one else is going to have an answer for your own life and what happens in it and why it happens. So just keep paddling on until you find the right answers. Be optimistic. I'm trying to. Anyways. As I get closer to my vehicle here that's parked on the side of the road and I'm at the end of this trail, I wanted to end this video off with a couple of updates and points that I wanted to share with you all. As you see, I'm now uploading a video for you. I'm sorry if the editing and the video quality is absolutely absurd. I do apologize. Again, my computer is completely kaput. So I'm probably going to edit this on my phone. So it might be pretty wacky tobacky. The G35, well, I don't know when we're going to get content on that released. I do post on my Instagram, which you can find the link in my description for this video. But in terms of progress on that, well, I mean, just trying to get by. I kind of tried to salvage as much as I can. So long story short, when we took apart the engine, I was able to find a lot of things that were wrong with it. And this is not to blame people who helped me with this build. Again, things can go wrong in any direction at any given point in time. Anything could have caused this. We found cylinder 1, main bearing, completely shot. The rod bearing was gone. Lots of bearing material all over the oil. Number 2, we had some rods that were bent. Number 3, I think cylinders 5 and 6 the bearings were on their way out as well. Number 4, we found studs that were completely warped, which was hilarious to see. Point number 5, camshafts, the journals in the camshafts, they were completely scuffed up too. Point number 6, the tensioner for the timing chain was unsprung, was fully compressed against the tensioner guide, and I think that was having some issues. That was causing some issues with our timing. So all in all, the engine mechanically was messed up. Everything was wrong. It's too bad to see that. And I also found that the vacuum port to the neck of my Kinetics intake manifold was very loose. There was definitely air leaking through that, which causes issues with my fueling as well, to the fuel pressure regulator. So folks, that was it. That engine, I did not want to salvage that engine. I had so much wrong with that thing. There was no logic to keeping that thing. I kind of parted ways with it. I sold the short block and I got rid of some stuff. But if it makes you feel any happier, I did keep the built heads. I kept the fuel system and I kept the turbo kit. So we got a stock short block off of DE from a good friend, Liam. Shout out to him. And my short block that was from my rev up and the built configuration was sold to a buddy named Alan. I got their Instagrams over in my description as well, since they helped me out a bit here. But we're gonna put together everything with what we got and just run it the way it was, but with just a stock bottom end. And I think that was probably the best thing I could have done from the first place. So I'll make my way back here, and I guess the next video you'll see from me is with some progress on the car, really. Like, I have everything back together. I worked so much on this car and trying to get it all together that it's near complete at this point. I just hope that I can get it running and maybe get some content on it again. But I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be as exciting as it was with the built engine and everything, because that would have been a monster if it was running perfectly fine and there was no malfunctions found. So take it with a grain of salt. This video is for people who are eager into getting into the automotive scene and eager to get things going with their rides and getting a build going. Do it right the first time and count your blessings, and don't splurge all your savings into a car. As Gears and Gasoline said it in their video perfectly, you shouldn't rely on cars to make you happy in life. It's a getaway for sure, but it's not your go-to. You should find other things to be happy with. It's a great hobby to have. I love my hobby every day and every time that I'm partaking in it, but don't make your car your number one happy source. Okay? Anyways, from one brother to another brother or sister out there, thanks for watching. I'm alive. I'm okay. Just dealing. Cheers. I totally forgot to capture this one bit of footage here. My Corolla is still with me. I'm not even in this province anymore, but I'm rocking the plates from my old place. Pretty sketchy, but the Corolla is still alive.